Chicago Cubs. You didn't grow up, huh? You out here doing a little bit of work in the cold months. I'm proud of you. Hey, keep the momentum going. But for those you don't know, it's been some Cubs activity. Cubs have traded for Edward Carbrera, and they have also signed Alex Bregman. Bregman. Say that 3 times fast. But yep. So we're gonna talk about Edward Carbrera, traded from the Marlins. Two things. You don't live in Miami no more. Sad for you. But you are free of the Marlins, so happy for you. He was traded for Owen Cassie and 2 other prospects, which is Christian Hernandez and Eduardo De La Rome. Sounds like he would be in a commercial for the world's most interested man. But that's that man's name. No disrespect. Casey, 5 out of 26, 1 home run in 12 games. Had a concussion towards the end of the year, wasn't able to play much. Christian Hernandez, he was with the team since 2021, but never played above A ball, which, if you don't know, is A ball, double A, and then there's triple A. I'm sorry. So he never got to even attempt to be in the major leagues. Edward De La Rome, he played 19 games for the Arizona Complex League. Batted .276, 5 home runs, and 5 stolen bases. So what does all that mean? Not too much. Edward Carbrera, on his side, he was 8-7 last year, 3.53 on the ERA, 150 strikeouts in 137 innings. So the Cubs basically traded a starting pitcher that has potential for a bunch of prospects that they're not sure about. That's pretty much what it comes down to. They did a 1-year, $4 million deal to avoid arbitration. So he is basically with this team until 29. So you're probably going to get to see the prime of his years, hopefully. Pretty decent fastball. Around 97, it could reach 100. Cubs, you need some more pitchers that can pitch at 100 miles an hour. Slider, low, mid 80s, not bad, decent changeup. He lowered his walk rate last year. Hopefully that continues, because always avoiding to walk baseball players is a good thing. That's what you want. So outside of that, Owen Cassie, I'm kind of sad about. I thought he had potential to be your starting right fielder, considering you're not going to sign Kyle Tucker back. You have Kevin Aguilar. He's going to be there. Suzuki, you get to go back to right field full time now. No more DH for you, my boy. But Cubs have to make a move for starting pitching. You don't know when Justin Steele is going to come back or how he's going to come back. You have Tao Young, you have M. Naga, but that's a 1-year deal. And after his downfall last year, are you really sure about riding him a whole nother year? Probably not. Some of it was injuries, I believe, but some of it is problems that he had coming into the league, which was he can give up a lot of hits, but he can strike out a lot of people. You just hope he strikes out more than gives up hits. The second part of the season, we saw M. Naga struggle badly, and you needed another pitcher in there. I think the Cubs can push some of those guys like Wicks and Assad. You can push them into the bullpen, and you don't have to worry about riding Matt Boyd, who is a pitcher that has not pitched this many innings as he did last year. You can give him a breather. You still have Rhea, of course, so you can conserve and mix and match with the bullpen and the starting lineup. You don't really have to ride 1 or 2 guys like you had been doing. And maybe, just maybe, you get to the playoffs again, you don't have to run Matt Boyd out there on 3 days of rest. That would be a good move. Or you don't have to contemplate between running somebody that pitched 3 days ago and putting him out there opposed to a struggling shoulder Imanaga. So now you got a little balance. Hopefully Edward Carbrera is on his way up. I don't think he's on his way down, but he's only 27. So we'll see where he goes from there. So Cubs, 150 strikeouts, you need that on your team. And you need somebody that can throw 100 miles an hour. Good job. Somebody was thinking out there. And then next, the Cubs made a big boy move. They said, we're not going to get just pitching. We're going to get hitting. They signed Alex Bregman, sorry, bro. 5 years, 175. 70 million deferred, which is weird because the Cubs do not defer money, but they did today. No opt-out clause, so that means for you that don't know, he will be here until he's no longer here. If he wants to be traded, probably, but the Cubs can't just openly decide to trade him. That's what that means. His stats last year was 273 batting average, 18 home runs, 62 RBIs in 114 games. He started off hot with 11 home runs and 35 RBIs in May, but he had a quad injury that sidelined him for almost 2 months, and he never really picked back up. He's 31, of course, and this would push the 24-year-old Matt Shaw to the bench because he was your starting third baseman. But Matt Shaw is on the team for the next 6 years. So Nico Horner, he is a free agent after this year. Those two guys are more for their defense than they are for hitting. You need hitting, especially at third base. It was a struggle. Matt Shaw showed hope, but was he a reliable source? Cubs finally righted their wrong because they tried to sign this man last year and it did not work. And they went cheap and he went to the Red Sox for a year. And even though he was hurt, still had a decent season. This is probably what you're going to get. About 20, 25 home runs, maybe close to 100 RBIs. What you lost in Kyle Tucker, or going to lose, that's what you're going to get with Alex. Decent hitter, of course. Decent outfielder. That's what you want. Somebody to hold third base down, because the Cubs have not had that. I had that in a while, but they have it now. So 5 years, even though he's 31, I mean, guys play at a high level into their 30s because in baseball they don't start to their 25 most of the time. So what can you do? But Cubs did not go cheap this time around. The Red Sox, it seemed like y'all trading places with the Cubs. 1 year they're cheap, then the next year you cheap. So I guess this was the year for the Red Sox to go cheap. It was a deal on the table, 165. Imagine losing somebody like that for $10 million. Oh man, baseball, y'all funny. Y'all play too many games sometimes. But yeah, 165. Boston didn't want to go above, and they didn't want to do the no trade clause. So here it is. He goes from Boston to the Cubs. Cubs, you needed a third baseman, so that is taken care of. You needed a hitter, a consistent one at that. Somebody that can hit 100-mile-an-hour pitches. So you went and got a pitcher that can throw 100 miles and a hitter that can hit 100 miles an hour. This is what you needed because we saw with the Milwaukee Brewers and the Padres and just all year that those two issues was a struggle. And in baseball, you need to have some hitters that can hit 100 miles an hour while having pitchers that can throw 100 miles. So you got both in less than a week. I'm proud of you, Cubs. Keep it up. Now look, if you go ahead and get your boy up out of here, go ahead, get Ian Happ up. I'm just playing. Happ, we talked, but you didn't do right. You said you was going to dominate in the playoffs. We don't know each other personally, but I felt that you was going to handle that business, and you didn't. So, I'm kind of hurt by that. But hopefully you do better this year. The only thing the Cubs probably need is one more outfielder. If you're going to try with Aguilar, because you don't have Casey there, but Moises, he's not going to play any outfield. He's going to be your DH, but you knew that already. So I think you have a nice mix of young and veteran players. But Suzuki, he's back in right field. I think that's where he wanted to be. He looks like he wants to take a nap sometimes when he's sitting on the bench because he was playing DH. So maybe he's your starter, but you also need guys on the bench like Shaw, two young guys, not guys that are 40, that's bandaged up, but guys that are young and able to come off the bench and produce. I'm not saying nobody's name. This will be able to give everybody a proper rest so you're not running on fumes offensively into the playoffs, and we don't see what we seen last year this upcoming season. So good job, Cubs. You're off to a good start. Jed, you made sure you before that Cubs convention, you started making them moves. You didn't want to deal with that Chicago media. I don't blame you, because you know they was gonna get on your head about not signing nobody for real, for real. So yeah, get it done. Hey, there's still people out there. I'm not saying that you have to go for broke, but there's still people out there. Bo Bichette, out, Bellinger, still people out there. You know, I don't know. Swing for the fences, go for broke. Toronto's doing it. Dodgers doing it. It worked out for them. Why not you? But I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.